Hi, welcome to my topic Circuits and Networks. I am Ravikant Malajushra, and once again we are going to deal with superposition theorem, especially with the problems which are involved with dependent sources. So we are going to solve the problems which are involved with dependent sources using superposition theorem and compare the results with mesh analysis or node analysis. Let us start with problem 1. Here we need to find out the current I using superposition theorem. So in finding out the superposition theorem, the important steps are whenever you have voltage source, it has to be shorted, and whenever you have current source, it has to be open circuited. And we have to make sure that one source should act at one time. And finally, you have to sum up all the results and check the answer whether you are going to get the same using mesh analysis or node analysis. Let us start with the solution. Step 1. Assuming 15 volts active, 10 volts inactive, that is we are going to make 10 volts as short circuit as shown in figure 1a. So here you can see we have removed the 10 volts and we are making I1 and 3I1. These two currents are depending upon 15 volts and we need to find out the value of current I1. So we are assuming our voltage, node voltage, that is V, and we are going to apply KCL. We are going to apply KCL to find out the solution for I1. So you can see when you are going to apply KCL, that is algebraic sum of the currents at a particular junction is equal to 0 minus I1, it is flowing towards point V, minus 3I1, it is also moving towards point V, and V is assumed to be at higher potential, so that is why V by 8 is equal to 0. So these are the branch currents which are sum up to 0. So with this you can simplify the equation. We will be getting 32I1 is equal to V. So either you have to shift I1 in terms of V or V in terms of I1. By clear inspection you can see I1 it is flowing from 15 volts towards point V. So I1 can be taken as the difference of these two voltage divided by the resistance. So you can see I1 as 15 minus V divided by 6 is the value of current, and you can substitute this value over here to get one complete result. So here you can see the simplification is done. 6I1 plus V equal to 15. These two equations are considered, and with these two equations I'm going to get 38I1 is equal to 15. Later on I1 is equal to 0.39 amperes. So this is one result which is because of 15 volts active. Now what we are going to do, we are going to take another circuit where we are going to make 15 volts as inactive and 10 volts as active. That is what it is doing here. 10 volts is made active, 15 is inactive, and with this again we are assuming a node voltage V. With this we are going to apply KCL, that is minus I2 minus 3I1 plus V, which is at higher potential, plus 10 because it is acting quite opposite, whole divided by 8. Now I2 in these cases it is depending upon the voltage 10 volts, and now simplifying this equation we'll be getting 32I2 plus 6I is equal to 10. In fact this I is nothing but I2 only. So overall I'm placing the values to get the value of I2. So I2 will be obtaining as 0.26 amperes. Now you can see the result 3 and result 6 are the two individual cases which were obtained when 15 volts was active and 10 volts was active respectively. Now this is the case. I1 was 0.39, I2 is 0.26. Now we have to take the complete result. So I is equal to I1 plus I2. We are making the use of superposition theorem to get the final answer. So I you are going to see here 0.65 amperes. So this is the value of current which is obtained using superposition theorem. How to know whether whatever the approach we have employed or we have followed, whether it is right or wrong? So let me clarify this by using some another example. I am taking a mesh analysis, taking the current as IA, IB are the two loop currents, and by careful inspection you can see 3I, which is given in the problem. It is nothing but the dependent current source shared by two loops. Thereby, there is a all chance to form a super mesh also. So I'll write first IB minus IA equal to 3I. IB minus IA equal to 3I because 3I direction and IB direction are the same, whereas IA is acting opposite to 3I. So this is we are considering as one equation, and you can see here IA is nothing but it is equivalent to I. I is the branch current, IA is the loop current. Both are flowing in the same direction in this particular loop. So you can take the value of I is equal to IA. Substituting these values in 1, I'll be getting the value of IB is equal to 4IA. So this I'm treating as equation 3. So I have obtained the value of IB in terms of 4IA. Now you can see the super mesh which is framed over here. Now we have done with inner mesh, that is IB minus IA is equal to 3I. Now we have to calculate the rest of the parameters which are connected to this mesh. So minus 15 plus 6 IA plus 8 IB minus 10 is equal to 0. With this, I'll be getting the value of 38 IA is equal to 25. I have substituted the value of IB here. This IB is equal to 4 IA over here. And that is why we got the value as 38 IA is equal to 25. Now we can get the value of IA, which is nothing but I, whose value is 0.65 amperes. So you can check. We have employed superposition theorem first and obtained the result of the current I. Similarly, we have employed supermesh technique to obtain the current I. You can check the result using node analysis also. Now it is up to you which method you follow to obtain the answer. Let us go with an example 2. Here you can see we have to find the voltage, that is Vx. This is a Vx using superposition theorem. Unlike the previous problem, now you have voltage dependent current source. Vx is the voltage. Now it is a voltage dependent and it is a current source. And that voltage it is framed over 4 ohms. Vx is framed over 4 ohms. So how to solve this problem using superposition theorem, and later on how to cross check the result. We'll start off with superposition theorem, that is step 1. Assuming 50 volts to be active, 100 volts to be inactive, and that is what we are making this 100 volts to be short circuited. So this is how the circuit looks like. Now applying KVL, unlike the previous method, there I have applied KCL. Here we are going to apply KVL. You can also apply KCL to get the result. To differentiate from the previous problem, I have selected now KVL process. So IA, IB are the two loop currents, and IB minus IA is equal to 0.1 Vx. This is given in the problem. Now this is the voltage dependent current source shared between two loops. That's why we have framed this equation in this fashion. Now we have to employ supermesh analysis. So minus 50 plus 2IA plus 4IB is equal to 0. So this is the supermesh of this particular circuit. Also by clear inspection, you see Vx positive is placed over here, negative is placed over here as in the given problem. So current which is flowing in this 4 ohms is nothing but IB. So Vx is equal to 4IB. Okay, with these three equations, we are substituting 3 in 1 to obtain the value of IB minus IA is equal to 0.4 IB. Now this is already done. So we are going to apply the values of equations 3, 2, 1 to simplify this. We have obtained 0.6 IB is equal to IA. Now once we obtain the value of IA, we are substituting this equation in second equation, that was the supermesh equation. So minus 50 plus 2 of 0.6 IB plus 4 IB is equal to 0. With this, I'll be getting the value of IB is equal to 9.615 amperes. 9.615 amperes is the value of IB here. Okay. Now this is because of 50 volts. Let us go with the 100 volts activation. So 100 volts is activated and 50 volts is shorted. So this is how the circuit looks like. And we are making the help of KVL to obtain the loop currents Ix and Iy, same like in the previous case. Now you can say that Iy minus Ix is equal to 0.1 Vx. Okay, and then we are applying the supermesh, that is 2 Ix plus 4 Iy plus 100 is equal to 0. Now these are the two equations. Also by clear inspection, Vx is nothing but 4Iy. Okay, Vx is nothing but 4Iy. The value of branch current which is flowing in 4 ohms is Iy. That's why Vx is equal to 4Iy. Now substituting these values, that is equation 8 in equation 6, we are going to get 0.6 Iy is equal to Ix. Now making use of this equation in supermesh, so I'm substituting Ix which is equal to 0.6 Iy. I'm substituting over here. So I'm going to get Iy is equal to minus 19.23 amperes. Now this is the current because of source voltage 100 volts. So with these two results, we got IB for the first case when 50 volts was active. The Vx value is obtained as 38.46 volts. Similarly, when 100 volts was active, the Vx is obtained as minus 76.92 volts. Overall, we need to find out the answer. So overall, Vx is equal to result 1 plus result 2, 38.46 minus 76.92 volts. This is giving us the answer as minus 38.46 volts. Now this is the value of the Vx which is given in the problem. How to cross check whether we have done right or wrong? For that, I am assuming a voltage V over this particular point and applying KCL at this particular node. So you can see V minus 50 by 2, okay, and the current it is coming towards V, so minus 0.1 Vx plus V minus 100 by 4 is equal to 0, satisfying Kirchhoff's current law. So with this Vx, you have to find out the value of Vx. In this particular case, Vx is nothing but the voltage measurement across 4 ohms. So the current which is flowing in 4 ohms, the same current is flowing in 100 volts also. Let us take the value of current as Ix. Then Vx is equal to 4 Ix over here. Find out the value of Ix. So Ix will be V, that is the main voltage, minus 100 divided by 4 is the value of the branch current Ix over here. Substituting these three values in one another, we are going to get Vx is equal to V minus 100, and applying this equation 4 in equation 1, I'm going to get V minus 50 by 2 minus 0.1. Vx substitution is V minus 100 plus V minus 100 by 4 equal to 0. You can simplify this in this fashion and we are going to get 0.65 V is equal to 40. With V, we are going to get the value as 61.53 volts. And once we obtain the value of V, we can easily obtain the value of Vx from equation 4, which is equal to V minus 100. So 61.53 minus 100 is nothing but minus 38.46 volts. Now this is the same result what we have obtained using superposition theorem. And this method is nothing but applying node analysis. In the node analysis, we are seeing the application of KCL. Let us go with another problem where you need to find out the node voltages V1 and V2 using superposition theorem. So unlike the previous two problems, here you can see we have voltage dependent voltage source and current dependent current source, and we need to find out the node voltages V1, V2 using superposition theorem. So step 1, on starting with the step 1, we are making 10 amperes as active and 20 volts as inactive, and 20 volts can be made into inactive by short circuiting it. So this is what it is done here. Now I'm going to apply the mesh analysis or node analysis. Let me go with the clear inspection method. That is, you can see here V1 is nothing but the node voltage, and from the given problem V1 it is equal to 0.5 V2. It is given in the problem. Okay. Also you can see I1 direction is towards this direction. It is towards V2. So I1 it is equal to minus V2 by 4. Why minus V2 by 4? Because V2 is here assumed to be at higher potential and the direction of the current is acting quite opposite to our imagination. So that's why it is I1 is equal to minus V2 by 4. Now these equations are already framed. Then we are going to apply KCL at node 2. Now I'm going to apply KCL at node 2. No need of applying KCL at node 1 because already V1 it is obtained in terms of V2 as 0.5 V2. Once you obtain the value of V2, you get the value of V1. So that's simple. So that's why you're applying the KCL at node 2. So it is V2 minus V1 by 4. And since the current dependent current source, it is going away from V2, I'm taking it as positive. So 0.25 I is the branch current which is leaving this particular node V2 plus V2 by 4. Now here we have assumed V2 to be higher potential. That's why it is V2 minus 0 by 4. 0 is the ground potential value. So the substitution value, you can see how it is different from the previous case, from equation 2 and this equation. Please concentrate on these two equations. When you are talking strictly about I1, it is minus V2 by 4. But when I'm talking about the branch current, which is assumed to be in this direction, that is V2 by 4. So these three equations frame. Now the values are substituted. Substitution for I1 as well as V1, which will be giving the value of V2 to be 0 volts and V1 is also 0 volts. So this is a result we are taking as equation 4, and this we have obtained by assuming 10 amperes as active source. Now go with the next step, that is assuming 10 amperes as inactive, 20 volts as active. Now 20 volts is active, 10 is inactive. When 10 is inactive, since it's a series circuit, 4 ohms is also 4 ohms is also acting as a dummy in nature. So this circuit is further reduced to this. So in fact, V1 is equal to 0.5 V2, the value of V1, and it is taken to be 0.5 V2 only. Now with this, we are going to apply again KCL at this particular node V2. Okay, so V1, as I told you, it is equal to 0.5 V2, and I1, in the previous case 20 volts was not there, that's why it was 0 minus V2 by 4. But now you can see the difference, 20 volts is here, and because of this 20 volts, the current it is actually flowing in this direction, and we are assuming V2 to be at higher potential. So our imagination and the given direction of the current are quite opposite, and that is why I1 it is 20 minus V2 by 4. I think now it is clear why we are taking the value of I1 in negative direction in the previous case. Okay. Now substituting these two values in this equation, that is V2 minus V1 by 4, applying KCL here. This current is coming out of V2, so positive 0.25 I1 plus V2 minus 20 by 4 equal to 0. Now with these three equations, I'm going to get the value of V2, which is 12 volts, and V1 is equal to 6 volts. So you can cross check the result using mesh analysis or node analysis, and please comment in the chat box whether you're getting the answers or not. And please let me know what are the other topics you would like me to make a video on that, and I'll make a video on your request topics. Please comment on the chat box. So if you like my video of superposition theorem, problems involved with dependent sources, then please like, share among your friends, subscribe to my channel, and press the bell icon for the future notifications. Thank you.